Lewis Coop. A little humble pie for the podcast.
AGS podcast recapping week 6. What's cracking, everyone? I'm Rebel Scum, joined with the weekly pod squad and a not so special guest. Let's run it down. Rudy, what's cracking?
Another week, another loss.
Oh, damn, dude. Sorry about that. Brutal.
Fuck, that was sad.
that sounded real
Well,
hard.
that was sad, wasn't it? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
bad.
God damn, dog.
Damn.
It's all good. It's all good. It's hard to come away with a win, scoring under 100 points. Somehow I managed this week, though. By the grace of God.
Right.
NJC, speaking of Monday Night Miracles, defending champ, what's cracking?
Well, hello, boys. I don't have anything shitty, cocky, or braggadocious to say. I'm sitting here by the skin of my teeth, or the shine of my head. It was lucky. I'll say this. It did feel good, pause, to kind of have a lead that most of the time the person's already scored the point and you're trying to beat them on a Monday night. Like, it feels good to kind of get anxious and have some nerves, hoping that you win. I don't know. The other way, I don't know if I'm making sense, but it just feels
We already
good to
lost
have
Lou
that
right
angst and
now.
that energy.
Lou's gone. Lou's gone for the night.
NJC, the good thing is you still sound puckered. You can release the butthole now.
Sorry.
Release it.
I am puckered.
You got your 5-1, and there's no jokes, even though you declared 5-1 a little early. Release the butthole.
Kamish,
Hey,
good to hear you, man. Good to hear you.
We'll talk about it more when we get to the matchup. But what's up, fellas? It was a crazy weekend in football, though, right? Just period.
Yeah, it was a crazy week in football, indeed. 4-time champ, commissioner. What's cracking, Siebert?
Hey, I should be feeling like Rudy, man, as these losses pile up. But, while the Frogs are struggling in AGS, my little tadpoles are winning in life. And I want to bring on 2 of them real quick, if you guys could indulge me. We got LJ here, future Loyola Cub, as you see on the sweatshirt. But his 4th grade football team, we had our first game. We defeated Wilmington, St. Peter, and Paul 35-6 on Friday. Also add that I am the defensive coordinator of the team. So LJ, props to you. And then get this tadpole out of the way. Let me bring in my other one. Adriana Cooper, she's been trying to get on the pod for a few weeks. We finally got her on tonight. She PR'd, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, personal record, at the Mount Sac Invitational yesterday.
Congrats, Audie.
Shaving off 3.5 minutes from her time on that same course last year. So we're going to keep improving. Good job, Audie. Good job, Tadpoles.
Good job. I'm not going to call you Tadpoles, but good job.
Good shit. Way to go, kids. Come a long way, man. Audie's been doing that cross-country shit for a minute.
Hey, man, it's good to see. It's practice after practice, meet after meet. You just build and build and build, man. We're building to get her. Yeah, come show. She would like to show off her Halloween nails.
There's nice.
You just build, man. And, the goal is get her ready to run in high school, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Hey, Lennon, keep telling us about meet after meet. What was that about?
I think that's what the counselor gave me this week, right? Meat after meat. Was he using his meat? Was he using Boo's meat? Was he using your meat? Who knows, man?
It was strange meat. Strange meat.
You can tell by the girth marks left on your cheek.
Boo's didn't hurt me that bad. It barely broke the rim of the
rim.
Stop.
Quan.
Just stop.
Quan, what's cracking, Quan? You still
Oh,
awake
man.
over there, man? Are you gonna find a way to rope yourself into this?
You can hear me good, right? I moved the
Yeah,
mic
we
away.
got you.
All right.
No,
Love
sound
like
great.
community and the dollars too, the Quan. But man, tough loss. I really wanted to win that one though, because if I was rolling in to my next matchup with the Vadisi, it would have been nice to roll into that matchup undefeated. Because there's literally going to be no stress this upcoming week.
And no walls either, though. So
Lou, it's being married, man, and you're frustrated, and then next week you just get to take all your frustrations out on Boosie.
That's it.
Oh my god.
The question is, has he shopped any trade offers to you guys?
What does he have to trade? The man started Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Because apparently now he's shopping Patrick Mahomes for the same price.
Hey, I'll be honest. I mean, it looks like he'll be shopping the first round pick of the draft. Shit, that's a pretty valuable pick.
The commission sent a text out about one owner's competitive lineup and being in question. And then I looked at Voodoo's roster and I was like, oh, that was the most competitive lineup he could put out. I was like, is somebody injured? Does he have 3 people on a bye? No.
Hey, look, man, I apologized on the thread, and my bad. I jumped the gun on that one. I was just shocked that Queef Swallower had 2 zeros, right? Like, what are the odds of that, man? Marvin Harrison going out and Dallas Goedert going out. Sometimes the commissioner makes mistakes. I apologize. There's a lot that I have to keep up with, despite what many may think. One in particular, I'm constantly chasing down league members for their league fees. BC made a nice joke at my mistake, and I don't know. Sid, you're looking at your phone, man. I don't know if you can make jokes when you haven't paid your league fee yet in week 7.
BC, why don't you sell one of those vintage shoes you have back there and pay the league fees?
I would say, based on the fact that he hasn't paid, he's had an illegal roster for 7 weeks straight.
Are you saying the McDuck work of art back there is a bit ironic?
Very.
Yeah, right. It doesn't seem to be on par.
You guys
ask Papa Thmon for a loan, man. Actually, a matter of fact, Papa Thmon hasn't paid yet either, man. The only Rat Pack member that's paid is the one that doesn't participate.
Well, good for him, man. He's a true sport.
I'm paying in community service hours.
And finally, our special guest. I said not so special guest, but who am I fucking kidding? It's a Sugandese. It's always great to have you back, man. Give us the happenings in your week outside of fantasy football. You got good news all around. You got a big win. You got a young lady. You're a young lady producing shows. You're fucking doing it, man.
Yeah, it's been a busy week, man. Quick promo, Starting 5 out on Netflix. Go watch it. It's great. It's cool and all that.
What's it about?
It's about the LeBron, Tatum, Jimmy Butler, and Edwards. Sabonis is kind of the day-to-day life in the NBA, and yeah.
Oh, it's
Please
okay.
tell
Behind
me
the scenes
that
kind of shit.
Netflix and Starting 5 use better cameras than the one you're using tonight.
I switch rooms, so hopefully it's a little bit better. Now is it? No,
it's not.
No
it's
different.
worse. You got the candle lights in the back. It looks like the Dallas Cowboys Stadium when the light was coming through. Ask wifey to hook you up with a camera from her production studio.
She's too busy. This is the best that I get. Amazon's your friend.
Yeah, it wasn't the room actually, as it turns out.
I thought it was the room.
It kind of looks like you're filming the podcast in between porn shoots, bro. I'll be honest with you.
I will. I mean, my line's been doing a lot of ripping and tearing, if you know what I mean. So,
Jesus,
I don't know.
We are live, man. Ripping and a tearing.
Oh, my goodness, sir.
That's a good soundbite, though. Good pullback.
Yeah, Sugan's team. If Caleb keeps producing like that, boy, it's going to be rough. But I mean, he did have a favorable matchup.
He won't be
Yeah, tell
producing
us
any
about that.
points next week, Sugan.
Uh-oh.
Is it a bye week? Is he bye?
It is a bye week. Him and DJ are on a bye, but I get Justin back, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't like.
Come on,
to
drop the
get
flex on.
Gonna roll out old Gino, huh?
We'll roll out old Gino.
Is Gino playing at home?
I think he has the Falcons on the road.
Okay. Well, at least it's
The other
indoors.
got decent defense. Damn it.
At least it's indoors. Come on, let's let Lou have it, man. I mean, he was the undisputed loudest voice in your worst first round pick, and you finally got a chance to go head to head, and you did what no one else could do. Not me, not Froggy, nobody here. And you put that lip, and you just tell us about it.
Well, also, Quan was trying to serve NJC humble pie all week, and it looks like he's the one eating it tonight.
Facts.
How does it taste, Lip? How does it taste?
Yeah, no, it feels good, man. Quick draft day story. Lou, he was looking at my roster. We're at the board, and he asked me some question, and I was like, Lou, I'm in win now mode. And Lou went through every pick and player that I had, and he was like, "You think this is a win now roster?" And I was like, "I guess we'll find out." And it felt good.
He said, "We found out in week 6 next."
Shitting on the Kamara pick, asking how old he is, then he drafts Travis Kelce, who's 10 years older than him. I mean, it didn't make sense to me, but I mean, Lou's here, I guess, to explain it.
Tell us.
Oh man, there's nothing more to say. But I explained it before. We had this kind of on the pod before. Kamara was you're listening to all these fantasy football analysts, they were not high on Kamara at all. He didn't have a great season last season. So I was just curious because that pick was high. Was you have like a 4th pick or something like that? 3rd?
Yeah, number 3.
Number 3, the 3rd pick. Thought it was kind of high, but looks like I'm proven wrong. I've been wrong before, but at the same time, it is still we're only here in week 6, and a lot of injuries, a lot of bye weeks going on, but it's a whole season, so we'll see what happens moving forward. But
Hopefully by the end of the season, you'll have taken the stickers off of the rim of your hat there, Lou. Hey, so Sugandese, man, Caleb with 38. Nice pickup of Downs. I don't even know his first name. Josh Downs.
I was about to say that. He's dope.
And it was funny, man. You had the London game, and I was trying to give you a little shit, man. 22.5 points on the bench, but it looks like you didn't need them.
Yeah, I thought that would come back to bite me in the ass, but because I think he still had like Dowdle and Burrow and CD and St. Brown left to play, and I was like, shit, I'm probably gonna need those, but didn't end up making a difference. So
dude, that game killed me. That Dallas game just murdered my chances of coming back at all. And then on top of it, as because the first days, Joe Mixon and Zay Flowers put up. Now I was like, oh, I'm good. I felt pretty confident. And then all of a sudden, like in the 4th quarter, his players just start scoring. Hunter Henry scores a touchdown out of nowhere. Najee Harris puts up 19 points. The most
Najee Harris breakout
game, the most he scored all year. And then Kamara starts getting like garbage time and puts up like 5 or 6 extra points. It just was a roller coaster towards the 4th quarter of the first games. But I just felt like okay, this Dallas Lions game is going to be good. They was high scoring last year.
Should have been a shootout. Right.
It was terrible. Terrible.
It's funny you mentioned that. Right. Everyone predicted the shootout. So I'm out watching the game on my phone at Audie's meet, and I thought I had checked all the boxes, right? And then the Packers game starts and it's pouring rain. And I'm like, holy shit. I forgot to check the weather report. And I'm like, they're both Jordan Love and Dak are supposed to both be in shootouts. So I'm like, I should have started Dak. and I fucked up. It's all this rain. I should have went Dak, and then Dak fucking did nothing. So thank God I did not start him, man.
Oh, he
The
did
Cowboys
something.
did not show up.
He did something. Well, he threw a lot of picks to the other team.
But that's the hot and cold you get with Dak, though. Like that's the Dak dichotomy.
And then I do not know why. I'm sure Nick was watching. Like, why are they even giving Zeke the ball? It is just ridiculous. He comes in and
Slows the
literally
game
has
down.
zero burst, is missing holes, is just I don't know if like after last week he cried and stuff about getting the ball, and all of a sudden they're trading series with Rico Dow, and clearly Rico Dow's averaging 5 yards per carry. Like, why are they even playing with Zeke? Like, get him out of there. But anyway.
Oh, one more note, Quan, because you've been hyping up your LSU receiver for a few weeks now, and you're asking for updates, and he's the number one receiver in the league. Give us a update on how Brian Thomas Jr. performed this week, because I fully expected, with Neighbors out for the second week with a concussion, for Brian Thomas Jr. to surpass him in points, but it doesn't look like he did that.
You didn't even start him.
No. I'm rolling with Zay from here on out. Zay and A-Chain in my flex. But anyhow, and that was I think you recommended that, BC. So thank you for the recommendation. But
Hey man,
yeah,
I'm a championship, caliber team, brother. What I recommend, begets points.
you know what? I think what we really need to give props to is the Bears D, man. The Bears have been shutting down number one receivers all year. And rookie out of LSU is not going to rookie receiver is not going to be any different. But yeah,
Quan, did you just say you like Bear D?
Vince, yes.
Actually, he said he loves
Like Grizzly D.
It's good. But yeah.
Yeah, so we have 3 5-1 teams in the league. Quan,
4.
you feel like 4? 5-1?
Nah.
I believe Joey's 5-1, right?
Nah,
Joey's
he's
4-2.
3-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just us 3? So then we're
Yeah.
all tied for first place then. No.
I think I
So
own
we
that
beat
tie
both of
because
us,
I
huh?
You guys are in different
No,
divisions.
Sinkay is in
so-
first place.
CK's in first.
Yeah.
And
So y'all are tied for second, and then Soul number 1.
Good luck.
yes, we are, but
These next 2
theoretically
games,
it
'cause I
goes
pretty
to
much
points. So I'll be in second place because
pretty
I've
much
got the
have
most points.
2 weeks off. So
It's okay. Don't
Oh
worry,
my
man.
God.
I'll see you in a couple weeks.
you guys are
I'm
always
warming up on your rookie roster this week, and then I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you soon.
Oh, I can't wait for that game.
Oh, I know you can't. That lip is lipping right now. I know you can't
I'm
wait.
sure that head is sweating up under that hat. Boy,
Nah.
it is.
I mean, not to be a dick, not to be an asshole though, right? Because let's be honest, right? I see you week 10, right? No, I see you week 9,
Mhm.
right? If the schedule is if my schedule is favored, like if I have a really good schedule, I don't take any of those naughty letters until then. Regardless, at that point, we're just talking shit because numbers show that we'll see each other in the postseason. So you can have all the jokes you want in the regular season, who cares?
True. Regular season games, it is what it is. But we're all chasing a bye week, and it's only
you know how I feel about the bye week. You like the bye week. I don't care to be in that position. To me, that position is more of a curse than it is a pleasure.
Wait, why don't you like the bye week?
Yeah, the bye week is pretty valuable, dog.
It's valuable, but you know what? Again, being superstitious, like I like to grind it out all the way to the end. Pause. Like I've sat in I think I've had the bye week one time, and that week I was on bye, I put up a shit ton of points, and the next week when I played, I think that's when it might have been. I don't know. I lost the next game. I don't know. I like to just earn it, bro. Like, let me, y'all can have it. Take it.
Bye week is earned, but
No, the championship is earned.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of grinding it out until the end, NJC, tell us more about this matchup that had your asshole clenched for, I don't know, a solid 2.5 hours. Like
I was
like a
I was
fist.
clenched. I was clenched Nah, brother. I wouldn't even give myself that much credit. I was clinched at like 8 o'clock Sunday morning when Swift had like 18 points to wake me up like Folgers coffee, bruh. So there was no delayed puckering. I woke up puckered. It was because it was like Swift put up 19, and then I think he had a couple player. I think he had CJ Stroud, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs. Menagerie was driving me freaking crazy because Stroud would get the ball and then Dell would go up and then Diggs would go up and then Dell got the touchdown. And then every touchdown he got 12 points and then I got 6, but then he got 6. So it was a good matchup, man. I'm happy. I'm happy. One thing I wrote, the first thing I wanted to say on my podcast notes is that I officially redact that Kraft tight end explosion comment. It was absolutely the fact that there were no other hands in Green Bay that weekend. And when Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson came back to the starting lineup, I think we saw exactly what the expected output would be. So back to streaming tight ends.
I think I found my new tight end, fellas.
For this
You
week,
mean he's not the 2024 Sam Laporta?
I know he has potential to be the next Laporta.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you
I didn't
did.
say that.
Oh,
that was
hey,
the
you agreed with it.
You agreed with it.
Of
You
course,
second.
I'm going to agree with it. It's in my roster.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
agree, Nakia.
Yeah.
I mean, the next Laporta. The kid is such a nice
man.
guy. He did not believe that.
I mean,
No.
you know, you were dropping all kinds of little chatter on the thread, and it almost felt like you had this upset coming because of the way you were steering the ship, the fact that you had sworn to be more humble on the previous podcast after letting it rip. And I think you have an understanding of how quickly this game can turn. Doesn't give a shit.
Sorry.
Most definitely.
No.
Hey, I'd like to point out something that we talked about on the thread earlier this season when Awumi traded Dalton Kincaid. And, he went with the 2 tight end strategy this week, which he seems to love. And if he had kept Kincaid instead of starting Likely, it's a difference of 6 points and a difference in a win and loss here this week.
He also has Tyler Algier, who went off. I don't know if he would ever start in.
But that's a tougher call, right?
Yeah.
That's a tough call. That one sucks.
Speaking of Tyler Algier, so so now we're at 2 different coaching regimes that are putting Bijan Robinson in a committee. Like what's going on? Is it because Bijan just looks like an every down back, but yet
every down backs put up 100 yards and 2 touchdowns this week?
Is that what he did?
Yeah, you should check the stats, Lou, before you start talking, man.
But he's still in a committee. He's sharing.
There's a lot of running backs in committees. That's the way the NFL works these days.
So
virtually everyone outside of Baltimore.
Every week.
Quan, you got to have your data. You got to come ready with the data, man, on the pod.
Everybody
you're the
has
data
a
guy.
committee. That's why you keep talking about Blake Corum.
So let's see.
But no, I actually took a note.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, he put up 23.5 points this week, but he had 8 the week before, 8 the week before that, 12, 13, and 13.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is the Atlanta Falcons, bro. I mean, you're only as good as your offensive line if you're a running back. But I will say they did set a record. That's the first time that 2 running backs in Atlanta have gone over 100 yards since like, I don't know, 08. So that was a crazy day. And he left all those points on the bench, which would have been his victory. So he did go for Likely. That 2 tight end strategy, it's such thing as 2 tight, I guess, right?
It seems like if you're going to roll with 2 of them, and one of them's already a backup, I mean, why not just roll with a backup running back? Or I don't fucking know that.
I'd rather go with a running back where you at least knows there's going to be some output than the hope of a check down.
That shit's hard to guess. Speaking of backup running backs now becoming starters, Bucky Irving in Tampa Bay. Rudy, you didn't have many bright spots on your roster this week, but he's definitely one of them. You got to feel good about that. You're on mute, sir. or in the no fly zone.
No, he's improving every week, so I'm just gonna see him improve, see what comes out of him. So yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, speaking of
Hey,
improving every week,
Kirk Cousins said, "You like that? 34 bench points for Jared Goff."
Yeah.
I mean, so you obviously went with the matchup there, even though
Pretty much.
as Siebert had mentioned previously, the idea was that Detroit and Dallas were going to be in a shootout. You just said, fuck it, man.
Frogs, is this the third or fourth game you've gone down to the high score?
Oh yeah, man, I'm definitely was saying. I thought, you so rudely interrupted Rudy's game, but I was definitely going to touch on that,
dude. We're still talking about this other game. Lou, what the fuck is going on?
All right.
You don't know Bijan Robinson's the starting running back for the fucking Falcons. You question the standings, even though I had the league standings up on my screen. I'm staring right at him. You're like, there's only
Quan just wants to come at me, man. Let Rudy get through his game. We'll get to my game, Quan.
Nah, it's ain't nothing much more to talk about, man. Go ahead and go.
No. I was just gonna say. You said improving.
Coming at it. Like it's like
we're talking about Rudy's game,
like because he would have beat everybody except.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to my game.
Hang on, sir. Good sir. Rudy had mentioned improving week to week, and I was going to ask him if he has any strategies for doing that thing to his roster, because I feel like I'm in the same boat as you, Rudy. Like it's slim pickings, it's thin margins. I mean, improving week to week. You and I both know. Everybody look at all the high score, or look at all the scores for this week. There are very few that are under 100. And only one that won. I won because it was just pure luck. His entire team got hurt. So going week to week, where are you looking to maybe squeeze a little more juice out of these plums?
Nah, I'm gonna keep my roster the way it is right now.
I mean, that's pretty much all you can do, right? The waiver wire
there's nothing much else
white lady's
on there.
ass.
There's nothing much on there.
I got a quick question. So you're 2-4. Nico Collins out for a little bit. Are you maybe thinking about
Rashid Shaheed? Right, he's injured too now.
Oh yeah, he might be banged up. Has fire sale season ever crossed your mind yet, or not? Not quite yet.
No. Mm-mm.
No, it hasn't, because I've been trying. I try almost every day.
I ain't giving y'all shit. Mm-mm.
Just that I wasn't asking for me, just a general.
I'm asking for a friend. Just asking for a friend.
Right.
I have a theory.
Well, because the trade deadline's approaching.
Right.
7 though. It's week 7 though, right? Now we moved it up because of the extended.
I think it's after week 7.
That would be next week.
Well, that's next week.
I have a theory here. I think the podcast might have fucked up trades for everybody here, and specifically this season.
It's been.
I think the level of shit talk.
I was actually surprised to see that trade announcement this weekend. I was like, oh, a trade.
Well, what do you know? The curse is involved in another trade.
Yeah, what do you know? Anyways, that's just my theory. I think that between the thread and the podcast, people are like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not trading with you. That's my theory.
Hey, real quick on this game, I want to give Pimps props. David Montgomery signed that 2-year extension. I think that Quan put out on the thread 20.5 points. Breece Hall had a breakout game in this. There's a new coaching regime with the Jets. I think I benefited a little bit from that with Garrett Wilson tonight. But Breece Hall with 20.5 points. He left Baker on the bench with 38. He's got 2 decent quarterbacks that performed well this week. Props to Pimps for getting even here at 3-3 and 500 record.
Yeah, I get to deal with all that next week. It's gonna be awesome.
I can't believe those many points. Jesus.
Yeah. Week to week. Hey, Quan, how about you ask Siebert about his game now? How about you mention that game?
He's chomping at the bit. Let's go, Quan.
Thanks, Rudy. By the way, thank you, Rudy, for We should actually thank Quan for allowing Rudy the time to speak on his podcast.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, Emmett, before you get interrupted again?
Nope,
Said,
not at
"Bah,
all.
humbug."
Go ahead, man.
Y'all nigga.
Quan, you want to break down my game or can I?
So you can break it down. Go ahead.
All right. Well, as I was going to discuss, is that my strength of schedule has been a bitch. 4 losses now, and 3 out of 4 losses were to the highest scoring teams in AGS. That's difficult to compete with. And then my 4th loss was to the former number 1 team in AGS, the Quan. So that strength of schedule has been a bitch. I think I'm in the lead with points scored against just a bit, like maybe 20 points over, I think, Queef Swallower has the second highest points scored against, which goes to show, like, he actually has a good squad, and he's running the same difficulties that I'm running with trying to get W's. And I feel like there's leagues out there, I'm getting desperate now, 2 and 4. Like, there's leagues out there that award wins for the highest scoring teams, but I like how our league works. I accept it. I'm 2 and 4. We're almost at the halfway point. I got to face Sugandese next week, who's the king of the hill right now. You only mentioned 2 Bears that are on bye, but I feel like half of your team plays for the Chicago Bears, okay, including your defense and your tight end. So that's one little piece of hopefully a slight advantage that might be able to help me out next week. Gosh, since I'm on here, I shouldn't have the right to talk about these things, but I'm here, and playing against Jamon, let me give him his props. Highest scoring team this week, consistency across the board. Purdy balled, King Henry. BC, can I get a 5th? King Henry, the Henry Report continues to produce week after week, 27 points this week. McLaurin balled, AJ Brown, Ingram, Sutton, Brown's D. I mean, he was consistent. Keenan Allen on the bench with 19 points. It was hard to be. I'm surprised I even made the game even remotely close. Shout out Ingram and AJ Brown, right? Like, Ingram hadn't done shit this season. He had this breakout game. Jamon started him. AJ Brown hasn't played since week 1, I think, and had a breakout game. So he started the right people. And in that vein, I tried to outsmart the experts and pick up Calvin Ridley, who everyone said is a bum. And I started him, and I got a whopping 0 points from Calvin Ridley.
You got a bum's reward.
I had to look at it because he had 8 targets. I'm like, how do you have 8 targets and 0 points?
Too much fried chicken the night before.
They had to be historically. Go look at this. The worst 8 targets I have ever seen a receiver get in the history of the National Football League. Will Levis is fucking terrible. I think one of those targets came close to his hands. It was a fucking nightmare for Calvin Ridley.
All the targets were intentional groundings.
It could have been 7 interceptions on 8 of those targets.
Really did an interview afterwards, and they asked him about his targets. He said, "I got targets." The man didn't even know the football had been thrown at him.
He was like, "When did those targets come?" But I'll say on the positive, man, we got reinforcements coming back. Neighbors. Hopefully, he's done going to Travis Scott concerts and will show up to the football game next week. Jonathan Brooks' practice window is officially opening up finally this week. You know what I'm hoping? I'm hoping Carolina sucks so bad that their star running back they use as trade bait, get Chubba Howard out of here, and let's plug in Brooks. We got Puka coming back in 2 weeks, hopefully.
Ricky Pearsall getting dropped this week. I mean, it's been a good week, huh?
Hey, man, you sure you want to drop him in JC? He's back. He looks healthy. He's happy. He's in a high-powered offense. You drop him, Rudy's going to pick him up. He's going to have a starting wide receiver.
Okay. Well, hey, you go ahead and take him off my hands. I need the space.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. 2 and 4, almost at the halfway point. Quan, you mentioned it, and you could speak on it. I'm hoping, fantasy guys have punished me the first half of the season with these high scores going up against me. I'm hoping the second half isn't as brutal.
I mean, it's unfortunate
that's
though
what
to
it
take
is.
an L when you put out 135 points. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like it was a bad outing. I mean, 135 points beats almost everybody else in the league, right? So, yeah, it's
That's
just
fantasy
any given
football,
Sunday.
man. I mean,
Yeah.
Coop actually has a really strong roster. He's got some great players coming back. The sun is shining on that bald ass head for real. You should be really happy. You don't have anything to worry about. I mean, seriously, good health withstanding, I would feel really good in that spot. You're putting up all kinds of points. That tide's going to turn. That can't keep happening week after week. Guys like me, it's dark back here, man. It's real bad. Yeah, I got a win this week, and it was one of the luckiest wins. Every season, everybody's granted one lucky win. This was my lucky win. This is my 9th life, or my last life, whatever you want to call it. Queef Swallower. That's a real tough one because you had Mason start Thursday night and gets hurt in the first half. And then you have Marvin Williams with a concussion. You have Dallas Goedert blow his fucking tires in the middle of the game. Sorry, Marvin
blow his
Harrison.
tire.
Marvin Williams is probably a backup singer. in
Your
some
neighbor?
band. my cousin Marvin.
Sounds like he sings back up at the Piggly Wiggly on Thursdays.
Yamava Resort and Casino. Marvin Williams presents.
Godwin put up 33.5, bro.
Yeah, and so that he 33.5 and just a tough loss, man. I mean, Calvin Ridley scored a point and a half more than Chris Olave did. I don't think you can do any worse than I had.
I think this is the first negative 1.5 we've had on the league, bro.
That's pretty fucked. Yeah. So I mean, although I'm 500 and I'd much rather have 3 wins than 2 or fewer than that, it's not trending in the same direction as it is for Frog. And even for Queefs, he has a team that the week before, I'm pretty sure put up, I don't know, $120, $115, something like that. Maybe I should check the facts, but he's been one of those kind of boomer bust teams, and who knows what he's going to do going forward. But 500, we'll take it week to week. You never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. You put up 130 plus points and you still lose. Quan, you didn't even crack 120 this week, did you? You did not.
No.
Oh my god. Oh, that average point total is dropping. Oh no.
Yeah, well, all 3 of your running backs go down. That starts dropping your points. Last week I had all 3 of my running backs gone along with Amon-Ra on a bye. But we're getting healthy. Joe Mixon came back and looked every bit of Joe Mixon. Speaking of which, this is fantasy football talk for you guys. Now, I wonder if the NFL is now going to change their posture on paying these running backs. If you look at these star running backs who all these teams let go, the star running backs that all these teams let go, and they're balling out on the other teams. Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and the teams they left are struggling to run the ball. I'm sorry, and Aaron Jones too. But so I wonder if it's going to change now. I'm sure these owners are going to notice this. But the Bengals.
So when you say change, what do you mean change? Like in what way?
That they're going to start paying these dudes now. I mean, the Bengals running game has suffered greatly. That they clearly need Joe Mixon back there, and the same thing with the Giants. I think that was obvious. Same thing with Tennessee, and then I would say Green Bay, but Green Bay got Josh Jacobs, but I still feel like Aaron Jones was a better fit for Green Bay, than Josh Jacobs is. But the Raiders running game is suffering without Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, it sucks. Like the rest of their team.
So the Raiders are just suffering as a whole.
Yeah, we
So
can
does
move off
Devontae
that.
still
Hey,
get
speaking
traded?
of Raiders, yeah, Nick, you were very high on Devontae to the Jets. That seems to have simmered a bit since last week when you made that bold proclamation.
Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, right? It just means that it's settled down quite a bit. He's going to get moved. in
The most recent rumors is that he's not going to get moved.
and that's why
I
they
don't-
call them rumors.
I don't think that any of the teams want to pay the price.
Or pay that salary, right? Like
Yeah.
your boy Gruden, or what's his name? Bowl cut. Davis.
Mark Davis.
He's too cheap to cover the salary. So people aren't interested in doing both, giving up draft capital and paying the full salary.
Yeah, that makes sense. He is one of the poorest owners in the league. I mean, a poor owner in owner speak, but he's always been
Poor
that
billionaire.
poor billionaire. Exactly. It's like here. It's like AGS. You've only got one championship. Oh, I've got four. Oh.
Yeah, he has
You know,
1
it's the
billion.
same. You've only got 1 billion. I've got 5.
Good bastard.
God damn.
And that's daddy's billion.
Hey, let's look ahead to week 7 here. We're coming up against an hour real quick. Quan, you got the Vusi. No worries. Light work. Right?
That's it.
Are we skipping Voodoo and Curse because they're not here? Or I mean, they listen. At least one of them listens to the pod.
Yeah, we should not skip them. My bad, guys.
Right, you
Curse,
gotta
great
shout
job.
out all the teams.
Yeah.
Right?
Great week off.
My bad. Thanks for keeping me on track, Commissioner. You keep the league on track. You keep the pod on track.
I just feel,
That's
these owners, especially Joe, he gave us an awesome breakdown last week on how much he loved the pod, broke down things that he appreciated. So let's give him his props, man. You know, he beat a team by over 60 points. It was his bye week. He was playing the Vusi, past the Vusi this time. It got past to the Curse. Let's all pass the Vusi. It's our tradition now. Josh Allen came through with his typical 27-point output. Kenneth Walker balled out. He's got a depth of talent at tight end position. Thank you, Awumi. He's got Kittle with 20.5 and Kincaid on the bench. His kicker had 19 points. So Joe, nice solid beating of your fellow Blasian Voodoo. Guys, does Voodoo win a game this year?
I hope not against me if he does win one.
No,
I know, right? I'm talking instead and watching.
no, the only reason why I say no is because I don't want my name to be forever on the bottom of the list for the worst record, and 0, just no wins is wonderful. So
I mean, he's got the lack of talent to pull off the 0-14 season.
Oh,
In
my
the
God.
history of AGS, has that ever happened?
No, I think NJC pointed out 1-11-1 is the worst
That's the
record
worst.
in AGS. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
So let me ask you guys a question. If he goes 0-14, is that pretty much does he come back? Is that it?
Well, the true heart of
Only
a champion would not stand for that.
An accidental champion. I don't know. The Rat Pack you gotta really like put your arms around him, man, and embrace him. Like, this to me feels deeper than AGS. You know, like Vu used to hit me up on Fridays and say, "Hey, man, you want to get the wives together and go out?" And I mean, he is completely off the radar. Not on the thread, not on a personal level, nothing. And it's I'm the commissioner of the league that he's sucking in. If it's beyond, just put it like this, man. I'll take the jokes. If I've had bad years, I've come in last place, but I will always respond. You guys might probably get tired of me posting shit on the thread. You're like, why is this nigga who's terrible posting things on the thread? I will always communicate with you guys, man. I love this. I watch the games. I had a smile on my face. I was just watching Garrett Wilson play. I'm like, oh, look, he finally has a connection with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe this looks good for the future. Even though I knew like he wasn't going to put 40 points up and help me win tonight. I just enjoy football. I enjoy AGS, and I don't see that love from Voodoo. And to me, unless he calls me or texts me at some point, I feel like this is beyond AGS. The only communication I've gotten from him is like, drop my player. Not no please, not thank you, not hey, how are you doing? Like, that's it for the last month plus. So I don't know, man. Vu, regardless of how you're feeling about your season, regardless of whatever, hurt feelings there may be, whether it's Cabo or whatever it is, man. Like you're still our frat brother. We still love you. You'll probably never hear this message, man. But
he's not listening.
Hey, man, come back, Vu.
No, he listens. I think he listens. My money's on yes.
I talked to him. He called me.
What?
It had nothing to do with the threat or fantasy football. But I immediately opened up. But like, dude, where have you been? What is going on? I'm busy. I'm busy. And then he went into why he actually called me. So
I mean, that's the same response as I get. He's busy. So I respect. You gotta respect the man trying to earn his dollars.
He might be in trial.
There's busy,
Remember
and then there's busy as an excuse, right? Like I've heard the busy from Jimmy. I've heard the busy from Jamon. I mean, we all work. You know, we all are trying to put food on the table. We're all men. Like, just taking this time on Monday nights to dedicate an hour to AGS. This isn't an hour free that I have. Like, I'm neglecting other things to do this. And Boo has always been busy, right? He's always been a lawyer. It just coincides that you're 0-6 and now you're busy. Like,
whoa. I can't speak for the man. We miss you, Vu. You still suck in fantasy football. I think that's the reason why you're quiet. You can't really talk shit from a donut. But we miss you. The pack misses you. Maybe we'll send a welfare check on you, bro. Hopefully the Palos Verdes hasn't swallowed you.
Hey,
up.
the problem, I think, on top of the winless record is the name change will be epic.
Oof, my Lord.
And the thing is, there's nothing he can do. Like, it's coming. It's coming.
When you are in week,
there's gonna be midgets. There's gonna be just,
and you're starting Daniel Jones. There is nothing you can do.
He started Officer Doofy.
Oh man!
Your best option was Daniel Jones.
This is for the viewer out there that watches us. We go a lot deeper than just fantasy football. We're men here talking about our own personal connections with our friends and missing these dudes in our lives. And you know what? Every good hero story, and we're all our own heroes in our own story. Every good hero story needs a villain, and we miss our fucking villain. And you know what makes a true villain a villain? Not a villain who's on top all the time, but the one that comes out from the gutter and yanks you by the ankles into the sewers and just takes the axe to you right
That's my
there.
fucking ankles.
You know what, man? And I thought Lou.
Wait, is he grasping the ankles while he's standing up?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's the highest he can grab. That's fucked up.
That's all he can get. But still,
that's eye level.
But still, he's like Pennywise, but not even Pennywise, just 10 penny.
Georgie.
I thought Lou was ascending to replace
Pennywise without the gutters.
Yeah, right. Just watch that movie. That's what he does, right?
Hey,
I thought Lou was ascending into this position of league villain. I think I said a few podcasts ago, most hated person. I think I called you the most hated team in the league. But after NJC took the baguettes and smacked me around and then was posting early on about just all kinds of bullshit. I think he was even talking shit about somebody that Froggy had injured. Oh, Malik Neighbors is out. The Nay neighborhood. Nay neighborhood's out.
Was it neighborhood neighbors?
Neighborhood neighbors is out. and so I was like, I think we actually have a new villain here. And well, the circle is not complete yet. It might, in my opinion, that's just one.
NJC is a past villain. Remember, he changed his logo to Public Enemy. He called himself number one. He was a villain for a couple of years.
A true WWE villain, where he goes from a baby face to back.
Yes, absolutely. Great call.
Just to be clear, you said that Voodoo would be like victim number one in Hurricane Milton. Like the first droplets of water.
That's it.
He has to evacuate a week before the
1 inch of rain, and it's so long.
Well, not if he's in one of those little wax boats.
Jesus Christ! Too deep. 1 inch is too deep. No pun intended.
Oh my God. So that's who Quan's
Israel
playing
could just
next
throw
week.
rocks at him. Like no bombs needed.
Oh my
We miss you,
God.
Rue. We miss
It's the
you.
other way around. It's the other way around. Sorry, Frog. I think it's the other way around. I think Palestine would be throwing rocks, right? Yeah, it's the other way around. So that's who Quan's facing next week. Good luck, Quan. Siebert, you got the Sugandese, right?
I have Sugandese. He's here. You know, I mentioned a lot. He's dealing with some bye weeks, and my team's coming back. I have one guy on bye week, Jake Ferguson. Sugan, you know, it seems to be the theme is 1 week you're on top. Not you personally, but teams. You know, I went up against T. Ruth, who scored 74 points last week. Now he's got 156. So you never know week by week. It's a must-win game for me at this point.
Yeah, it'll be a battle of the LSU stars, man. You probably got Neighbors coming back. I got Jay Jettas coming back off bye. Hope he's rested up. So it should be good. Like you said, I got 4 Bears on a bye. Bears defense has been balling. So I'm gonna have to scramble for a defense. But yeah, no, should be good. I've been pretty consistent scoring wise. Had a couple like 90-point games here and there, but I think we're starting to roll, starting to find our little groove here. So
Sugan, all I'm asking is please don't have the highest score of the week against me, because I've had enough of those.
It sounds like all I have to do is play you, and then I'll finally get the high score.
Exactly. Hey, also, you know, I'd love to watch the games with you, Cinque. You know, I feel like if we're not at work, then I get every excuse in the book why you can't hang out with me, man. So I'm hoping on the weekend you can make some time for me.
I was there when we were all there. What was that? Not even 2 weeks ago when we were all there. Then. I mean, yeah, I'm down. I'll be. This is an excuse. I will be in Vegas this weekend, but I come back like Sunday afternoonish. So maybe like the afternoon, Sunday night.
You are not coming to my house.
No. He's a kept man. He has to do what his girl tells him, bro.
After a weekend in Vegas, which, mind you, you're not going to be back early either. Are you driving or flying?
I'll be in Vegas this weekend.
We're flying.
What airline? Because if you're flying Spirit, that flight's going to be delayed at least 6 hours.
It's basically Spirit.
What's basically Spirit?
It's an airline called Velo Airlines.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I haven't heard of that
Velo
one.
Airlines.
You put your life in their hands?
I had a friend who booked it, and me and Jules were literally like, I think I would rather drive than go.
I
think I'd rather ride my bike to Vegas.
Right, to take Othello Airlines. Like, what the hell is Othello Airlines?
But I mean, it's only like a 45-minute flight. So I was like, if there's any flight to do it, it's this one. So
you know what I love about having Sugan on the thread is it reminds me of when I was broke. And the struggles. No, but you're ascending to where we're at. And the struggles
as broke as like
struggles of that
person.
life. Taking nondescript airlines to places. I flew Spirit Air to Jimmy's bachelor party in Colombia, man. 6 hours of Spirit Air.
God.
To save $600.
Wow, that is so deadly.
Sugan, it gets better.
Actually, this is a perfect segue. Sugandese, ever since I've known you, when you were a young whippersnapper, you've been hanging out with Unk Siebert over here. You've been with all the OGs and all the Unks. When you get a chance to maybe beat him in fantasy football, does it hurt you, or do you feel good after I don't know, some kind of backhanded compliments like this?
No, he's actually, ever since I came in the league, because I think my first year in, he won it, and I think he's
Quan, how many years ago was that, Quan?
2017. It's quite some time ago. Been in the league a long time.
Who was president back then?
We just want to see if you're still awake, Quan. Good job.
No, but he's one. Obviously, him being like fairly too. He's like the one person that I like actually really want to beat, because he's the most active on the thread. He's the biggest shit talker probably out of all of us here. So it doesn't hurt at all when I beat him. It's one of the greatest feelings.
There's an orgasm, and then there's Uncle Froggy. Nice. Well, good luck.
It's great to see Sugan become an adult, man. I remember I first met Sugan, and I had to be nice to him, man, because like I was trying to get good with the family, and here's this 10, 11-year-old saying, "You want to play Nintendo with me?" And that's how far back we go, man. Like a kid, like LJ's age. Like I had to go play video games with him and Corey to gain good graces with the family, man. And it's good to see the growth. We work together now. Sincade hasn't told everybody, but I'm responsible for putting food on his table, man. I helped him make a honorable man out of himself.
Yeah, no,
he said, "Call me daddy." That's what it sounds like.
God damn.
I'm responsible for your bills, boy. I'm the one. I'm the reason.
Hey, that's Sam Mitchell, man. No one laughed at it, but if you guys watch that Sam Mitchell, that motherfucker went crazy. He name dropped. He address dropped his coworker's address on live television. You guys see that shit?
Yeah. I meant to watch the full thing.
He got so in his feelings that he put his boy's address out there. I couldn't believe it.
And you know what? He totally overreacted and took dude's statement out of context.
He wasn't even clowning him.
No, he was joking.
He was supporting, right? He was supporting him. He was like,
"Yeah, like this fool's working for free. What you gonna work for free?" And he took it like totally out of context. Like he was saying he didn't deserve a paycheck, and it just, man. He's got
a response like that, and he will have no paycheck.
Yeah, talk about sensitive, boy.
Wow, shit. Hey, Rudy, you match up with who's coming in second next week, 2 and 4s. This is pretty critical. This is like kind of stay relevant, still mathematically stay in the hunt. How's your spirit feeling, man? How you doing over there in the Gaza?
Just looking at my roster, it looks like I just don't have enough. But well, we'll see week by week.
Nah, this is not the Rudy
I don't like that, man.
This is not the Rudy I know. This is the week to week fight, right? Come on, man.
Yeah, the week. Yeah. I've only broken 100 points, maybe twice, but that's where I'm at with mine. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's not looking too good as far as my roster, and I knew that with the lack of picks that I had, without running backs that can carry you a little bit, you don't have a shot.
For real, that's real, man.
So,
I'm in that boat.
Speaking of running backs, how's Devin Singletary doing? I'm sorry. I had to say something. You fucking don't trade with Lewis.
You got the crazy eye. You got the crazy eyes from Rudy right now. He looked up and
Look
he was
at him.
all,
I'm sorry. I'm scared. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Emmett.
Hey, he picked up his backup. Tracy got 20 points.
That was a good pick.
That
was a very good
He had
pickup.
a starter, and he knew to pick up his backup when he got hurt.
But
doing
that
just
goes to
fine.
show you what a real running back does with that backfield. I don't think Singletary's got 20 points all goddamn season.
Hey, Lou, is your microphone underneath your shirt? What's going on?
Well, you couldn't hear me?
It's in between your breasts.
All right. Is that better?
That's way better. You should have been doing that the whole episode.
I asked
Right.
when I moved it, and Nick was like, "Oh no, I can hear you just fine."
Sounded better back then.
It sounded like you were in your garage this whole episode.
Oh my god. That was... I'm sorry. So
Come on,
he
host.
said between the breasts, man.
That's what the guy was.
He's like, hey, baby. He's like, everybody, it's my team. Everybody talking about me. Yeah.
Talking about these are
Hey,
these are
speaking
pecs
of
of
that.
steel here. that that are these muscles are built with weights, not injections.
Plates? Did you say plates?
He said his muscles were built with weights.
Wait.
So the titty fucking goes both ways in the relationship. Put that clit in between my titties, baby.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Hey, but I wanted Quan. I want you to expound upon. We reach out. I'm just trying to work for the podcast, man. I'm 2 and 4. I'm trying to get guests. Next week we got Derek and Eric popping on. I hope they keep your attention. But tell us why. Why was Nakia such a bad guest, Quan?
Nakia wasn't a bad guest. He was good. He provided good fantasy talk. He talked about all of his.
He's not going to watch the episode. We don't need the PG.
No. Oh no, he was very professional.
Why did he put you to sleep, Lou? Because I thought, as a guy who likes analytics and fantasy football talk, I thought he would appease you.
I don't think he talked.
Hey, Lou got a bob in. He
Be real with us, Lou. We don't want PC. Give us a real answer.
No, dude. That's out of line. That was private because I'm not trying to. I appreciate him coming on to the podcast. I do.
Wait.
At one point, I was bored. What?
Wait, what's out? Wait, what's out of line? It's out of what was private and what's out of line? Is it out of line that we said the private?
They talked about
information-
that on Slurback Island, and it wasn't supposed to get
about because he's trying to bring on fucking Ronald Trump. And so
that was a joke. Clearly, that was a joke.
All right, and I was joking, but now you're throwing it at me like like I'm talking about Nakia behind his back. That's whack, dog. Because I'm not. I thought he came on the thread. It was good. I appreciate his time, and he can come back.
You know what, Lou, you're a master of maintaining emotion here. You're
a master of the spin.
Yeah.
The spin, whatever it is, I don't know. Maybe you guys have ever seen him come out of pocket and start screaming at people. I've never seen it. And, right now, I probably would have lost my cool if I was in your position because you definitely got caught right now. You got caught a bit.
Yeah, God.
No,
well, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's a catch.
Out. That's some bitch ass shit to try to bring that shit up. And you think Nakia's gonna like that you're trying to insinuate that I talk shit about him behind his back?
Nakia doesn't give a fuck. That's the only reason I brought it up. Nakia doesn't care.
First of all, Nakia, he's a cool dude. I appreciate him.
Nakia is not listening to this podcast. He didn't even listen to the podcast he was on. No one gives a shit. Like it's not that serious. I'm just saying. What did you
Nick,
not like?
When I should be like exploding about this.
No. I was commending you for your reservation and your calm.
For your couth.
But actually, after I said that, you came out here and called us.
Like, fuck that shit.
All I'm asking is
that's what
when Nick and I go out to cast guest hosts. What should we look for? I don't want to bore you.
Since we are our own viewers, we want to keep you entertained, Lou.
Look, this is not my podcast. This is Nick's podcast. I don't. Nick runs this podcast. You know it.
No,
and I don't think any of you care if I dislike a guest host or not. So you're really just trying to put me on the spot as if I have some issues with Nakia, and I do not. Okay.
You want to see those lips get moist.
That is it.
Not Nakia as a person, but as a guest host.
You could care less about who I want on the podcast or not. Do you really care? Is that a valid question?
Yes,
what about last week's podcast? I'm trying to find out what do you want for entertainment value? Just more of today. I'm assuming it's more of what we did today, where we just talk about AGS, we talk shit, we have fun. Because I personally, and I'll open this up to everybody. I thought I enjoyed in the moment when we were recording. Did I go off and daydream a little bit? Yes. But when I listened back to it, I thought there were gems in there that were dropped. So I guess I'm just wondering what, and dude, trust me, Nakia will never hear this. This isn't a personal jab. I'm just saying I thought he had some valuable input based on his experience with Coco's League and our league. I'm just like, what are you looking for out of guest hosts? Because we're booking more.
Shorter stories.
Anyway, I don't. You could care less what I think about who comes on the guest host. I still.
I'm
don't
asking.
give any
But I asked you the
validity
question.
at all. Well, I'm not looking for Ronald Trump to come on and piss everybody off and
Well, that was clearly
talk about how slavery didn't really exist and shit like that. That's not.
that-
Ron
not
was
the guest
never
I'm
like
looking-
Ron was never like actually going to come on here. It was just a joke.
Mhm. Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
From fantasy
Attention to the
football
Bates
to
community
question
tonight.
legitimacy of African American slavery. Welcome to the AGS podcast. Here we go.
No, the kid was good. I think that it was he had some good stuff, but I think he was allowed to go on and on for it was an hour before any of us got to even till we started to actually talk. Like he went on an hour about a lot of nonsense.
It was a solid 30 minutes, and I get that. Like it was a solid 30 minutes, and it was rare that we bring on a guest host that's not from AGS or doesn't really have ties. So I get that, and that's all. Like that answer, that's all we were looking for. We're just trying to get some feedback.
It was good.
So
Let it
next
cook,
week I'm
man.
gonna
You know?
have
You gotta
Tina Turner. She's gonna come on the podcast and show us how to put a microphone in her titties.
He's talking a lot over there and chiming in on all this, but
he's feeling good.
In fact,
He's 5-1.
I'm not going to bust him out and tell me.
Hey, listen, no, hey, fuck that.
What did you tell me? Go ahead.
I love Nakia. He's a very smart, successful individual. He's a very aggressive poker player, very aggressive at the cemetery. We'll leave it at that. The nigga tells a story for fucking ever. That's what it is. He just tells a story. Hey, listen, he says, look, the story could take 10 words. I'm going to give you 120. That's okay. That's just what it is.
That conversation I had with BC is actually what put it in my head to have that response when you put Ronald Trump on the thread. And that's actually what happened.
He likes it's my fault, y'all.
No, it's not your fault. Because in all honesty, like when and this could be, I've talked to Nick about this, about taking on a role of reeling us in. Because even I could go on and BC fucking did 2 introductions tonight before.
Well, because he didn't record the first one, bitch.
We can go on, and I've talked to Nick about reeling us in.
I'm gonna reel you in right now. I wanted to let Nakia cook, and half the time is letting you guys ramble so somebody can crack a joke after it too. I mean, we're good right now. We're speaking of which, we're pushing up against an hour, and I did want to get to the last 2 matchups. NJC's got the Queef Swallowers, and let me tell you, man, NJC, beware the Queef, man. The Queef be stinky. The Queef could get you.
No,
you never know. You never know.
We talk. From now on, it's humble. We don't know, man. Each week I can't say that I have a roster that I can set and forget. I mean, I've got some solid players, but matchups play a matter, weather plays a matter, and so I'm just gonna set the best roster I can set and hope that they show up, and then that's it, bro. Because at this point, ain't nothing guaranteed going forward.
It does help having 3 of the top 10 highest scoring fantasy football, or maybe even 4 of the top 10 highest scoring fantasy football players this season on your roster, so you can't kind of set it and forget it. You got one of those Betty Crocker rosters.
You say that, and I would have loved to double down on that, but freaking Quan put up 5 points this week and was supposed to put up 19. So, I mean, we talked about AJ Brown coming back and Devontae Smith. I know that's probably where all the points went, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you can say, Debo put up 1.5 last week and gave you a fat dub this week. So there's still going to be variability week to week. Do you think?
I'm going to say one thing that will probably get, I feel like I'm getting in a lot of trouble here on the pod, man, but you're going up against Queef Swallower. And I've got one thing to say about Queef swallowing, and that is Makoriak.
What the fuck is that?
That is the most
That's
inside
an
of inside
joke.
jokes right there.
I can't tell that story on the podcast.
I'll
That
tell
should
you
be
what, man.
canceled.
I'll tell this little bit, and you don't put this on your IG story this week. But me and NJC bonded over a queef swallower many years ago.
Damn. That's fucked. That sounds fucked.
Jesus Christ.
So much queefing, so much swallowing, so many years ago.
Holy shit. On that note, the Cursed and T. Ruth could get kind of spicy.
Now that might be
That's a
actually
good
a
game.
pretty good matchup.
That's a
I
good
think. Wait, who
matchup.
do you play this week, Lou? You play Vu?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, forget about it. I think
I'm-
that might be a
I'm-
good
I'm
matchup.
okay.
I think that's
gonna
going to be the
good
matchup of the week.
I think Sinkay and the Frogs is a good matchup too. That's
You
gonna
know
be.
it.
I mean, shit, you put up 135 more points, Coop.
Oh,
That is
yeah,
going to be a good
that-
matchup.
yeah.
It's big in that, like, I potentially could topple the King of the Hill,
Dude, I
Or
need
he
you to
could-
fucking win.
or he could end.
Yes, me too.
potentially put an end to my season.
Well, why don't
Is
you
that how you
fucking put
feel?
him? Why don't you give him a fucking L, Coop? Shit, he's aching for one. He's hurting
feel
for a
like-
squirting. He's cruising for a bruising.
Oh my god. Seabert, you feel like this is it? This is the end of the season. Like now it's fucking
Well,
win
then
out.
the problem is that then it's like those variables of fantasy, right? Like once it doesn't matter that I put up 135 if I lose, right? Like if I lose, the big game against Quan was huge. If I made some subtle changes, maybe I get a victory there. And once you have so many L's on your record, it's hard to dig out of that hole, regardless, right? Like I'm not gonna win out, right? Like every W in fantasy is so valuable that if I don't get one now, and then those losses start to add up, and then I'm right back where I started the season at.
Yeah. But
I mean,
a lot of
it could be
reinforcements.
worse. It
coming.
could be 0-6.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you got to think, right? Like those keepers are valuable, right? Like I had,
Oh, no.
what we all talked about. I felt like I had a decent draft, but those keepers are valuable, right? Like you don't make the postseason. There's no guarantee you get 3. If you're stuck with only 2 keepers and plus rookie contracts, you're letting go of valuable talent that you want to bring back next season.
Yeah, man. I'm just hoping for luck for here on out. We've covered all the week 7 matchups. Quan, is there anything else you want to get in before we sign off? We're pushing over an hour. I want this to be a nice listening experience for you, man.
Hey man, no. I think it's all set. I hope to have Nakia back on the show. Yeah,
Probably not going to happen
damn.
anymore now.
Hey, you're going to be the chief of police one day. Your fucking politics are really great. I mean, you really circle back to that to finish it
Just
off.
think about it. Like, if he listens and feels like we're talking shit about how he was on the show, why would he want to come back?
Not we.
No,
This ain't rich, motherfucker. This ain't.
I will put
we.
your worries at ease, Lewis. Nakia is never listening.
all right.
Neither is anybody with a life in this world listening to
Anyway,
90 minutes of this
I hope he
podcast.
comes back on the show. I enjoy Nakia. Come back on the
Hey,
show.
when he comes
Thank
back, Nick,
you.
it is your job to reel him in next time, Nick.
I'll fucking just click the mute button here, dude. We're like the kid on the block who's building his own crazy ass Lego pirate ship, and we're trying to force everybody to take a look at it and play with it. Like nobody gives a shit. We're the only people that give a shit.
We're all wearing the fucking foil hats. Everyone's listening to
Yes.
our battle versus the aliens.
Every time I edit this week to week, I consider like how pathetic it is and how fun it is at the same time. I mean, come on, man. Hey, get your camera right, get your mic right. Here we go, guys.
Hey, guy.
And then Lou's
hey,
over here just
Sugan.
shitting on everything.
Hey, the new updated scoring preview just dropped, boys. It's bye week. It's gonna be tough.
He's got some.
Well, why don't you tell us about it before we sign off here? Tell us real quick since you got it up, man. Hit us with it.
Who we talking? So Caleb Williams is on bye. DJ Moore is on bye. Let's see. Ferguson. So Dallas is on bye. Who's coming in second? Swift. That's Chicago. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for Jamon and the curse. So Jamon predicted 111 points. The curse 114 points. That's probably the closest
The
matchup of the
problem
weekend.
is all of this on a Sunday night or Monday night is meaningless,
meaningless.
right? Because
The
there's so
numbers are gonna
much that will
change.
change on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You're
The
you're cutting your
preseason-
rookie contract.
They have me down to Vu 81 to 85. So
That's just enough proof.
That's enough proof in itself. He said, "I don't know. It's going to get tight this weekend."
Quan, I want you on Amazon tonight. I want leather. I want whips. I want chains. I want handcuffs. I want baby oil. I want you to give it all to Vu this week.
it is so wide open. I probably don't need any of that. It's
You might need to you might need to pop a pill to stay up then. This is loose. And
I want
Sinke, I need
leg
you to get on Amazon and get a damn camera.
TFing, squeeze those booty cheeks together, whatever you got to do to get a little
Who
pill
has-
this week.
after me. Who would I pass it to?
I don't know.
I think
Sinke, you're
actually
on,
I
you're
got
on
him.
mute, Sinke.
I think I have him next.
You get
After
that.
I think I have him week 8. I don't want to participate in this talk of having sex with another man and his boosie and like squirting baby oil.
You got him the following week, scum.
I think okay, sweet.
You're not going to
But,
talk
you
about
know,
it until you're in it, until you're already fucking knee deep into it.
I need it real bad.
And then Sugan gets a second dipping. Rudy
I
gets
do get a second. I get
You guys
two
have
dips.
NJC, you get it last. NJC, you get it like that egg that cap off a side, man. You get it.
I got to
very-
pass the egg. I get to swallow it.
You guys that
Ah.
have him, you guys that have him in your division are golden, man. You played him twice.
By then his name is the claptrap because you don't want
you know he's infested.
you don't want any of that, man. Thanks. On that note, let's call it a fucking week and a night. AGS podcast, week 6 recap for all the pod squad, the commish, defending champ, Quan, Rudy, and our special guest, Sugandese. I'm Rebel Scum. We'll catch y'all next week.
Hey, shout out Nakia. I know you're listening, Nakia. Shout out.
See y'all next
All right,
week,
boys.
man.
Please like and subscribe.